let's start. I'm going to start the disclaimer first.
Okay.
Hi, here's a disclaimer for you. These are two guys who get really drunk and talk about shit in the stupidest way possible. So please don't take offense to anything we say, because we're going to be transphobic, homophobic, a little bit racist, a little bit sexist, a little bit misogynistic. It's just to get our point across. So please don't take offense to our show. And if you do, just let us know that you took offense to it on our Facebook page, Joel and Randy's Texas Tea. Do that. Bye.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Tongue Tied. Welcome to the show. I'm Randy.
I'm Joel.
And Pinky is back.
And Pinky is back. We're happy to have him. Chris is unfortunately not feeling well, so he'll be with us next week. We're really excited to be here this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually Women's Month, and we're going to celebrate that a little later, but I thought first we would talk about what went on in our week, something fun. Anything fun happening for you, Joe, this week?
Just the usual stuff. Men showing me their dicks on the bus.
All right.
What?
Horrible Uber drivers.
Wait. No, wait. You have to go back to the men showing their dick on the bus.
I am
That even
51 years
happened?
old, and I have been riding Metro in Houston for several years, excluding that little stint when I had a car. But I've been riding Metro for several years, and each time it seems, every time I ride the bus, some man is flicking his dick at me. And I'm like, oh,
Well-
why? First of all, why is it always on the way to work? It's never on the ride home
Right,
from
you
work.
don't really have time.
It's
on the
like,
way.
and I hate the, and I looked.
Well,
And I'm not going to say I didn't look. And I wasn't going to say that he was attractive.
oh, he was.
And I looked.
That works.
And it was kind of hot.
That's a bonus.
That is a bonus.
But I can see the look of disappointment on his face when I got up to get off the bus to go to work.
Well, I think
So I'm
that
like,
you're fortunate. 'cause
and I'm like, wait a
everybody
minute.
goes-
And then I'm getting off the bus thinking, me, I don't know why it always happens on the bus. It's been happening since I was 15 years old. Men have been showing me their dicks on the bus.
Were you at least wearing like your name tag or something?
No,
Or
I just
show
had on my
girl or-
traditional black uniform. Literally every waiter that works in this town
Right.
almost has a black
A
uniform.
Right.
Yeah, so
Black uniform.
Those where you
Yeah,
can't find it
exactly.
before you get out for
you're
it.
not
Yeah.
set apart from other women.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So that's
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't this happen to me? Why? Is
I
it
have
all-
no
and,
idea.
and you're the first person I've ever heard say that people are showing their dicks to you, and I'm a little jealous, to be honest with you, because I don't mind seeing a dick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You
trying
know,
to
the-
think of when this happened to me. I don't
Mhm.
know that that's. But I feel like people tell me like I'm intimidated and that's why I don't get approached,
Mhm.
or I'm intimidating, and so like that happens to me less because they're intimidated by me, and they're like I don't see that, but like it's
Why can't you
the
just?
craziest thing. Like nobody.
Why can't you just tell me that I'm attractive? Hello, would you like to give? Can I give you my phone number? Why you gotta flash your dick?
Oh, exactly.
There's just something in my expression that says, "Hey, please."
He wants
Show me your dick.
Were you wearing your glasses?
That is
No, I was
so
not wearing my
funny.
Because I was
glasses.
gonna say it could be
You know,
offering if help fix them.
The joke for many years when I would tell somebody, "Oh Lord, guess what happened today?" was someone said, it might be because you have DSLs.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh my gosh,
Mhm.
your lips are inviting.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, that's what it is.
So
I
I'm
was
like,
teasing
here
you.
we go, lips. Once again, inviting some men to just... And Metro has cameras on the bus now.
Mm.
So
Oh, yeah.
they have actually gotten...
Oh, my gosh.
The men that do this, and I'm
So-
sure, ladies, I know this is International Women's Month, so I know that this happens to y'all probably a lot more than
Oh,
it does,
hell yeah,
than it
for sure.
should. I know it happens to y'all a lot.
I'm wondering like who else
Mhm.
was on the bus near you? Because there had to be somebody else.
No,
Nobody
it was
else
just
saw
me.
him?
He was sitting down,
then
and
you
I
just like
sat
that
on
guy
this
behind
side
you.
of the bus. He was on the right side, I was on the left side. There was nobody sitting behind us, and there was a couple of people in front of us.
Huh.
And I don't even know why he put his little... He must have been doing this for a while and knows the system.
He's a
Because he
pro.
put his little messenger bag on his knees
To obscure the view.
to obscure the view, and then that's when I saw.
Height.
Poor thing though, it wasn't really that big.
Well, maybe he's a grower and not a shower.
No, it was.
Oh, it wasn't thick.
No, it was erect. I can tell.
Oh, no.
I've seen a lot of dicks in my lifetime.
Oh, no.
I know what an erect penis looks like.
Well, yes, you do.
So yes, it was erect, and he had it like
Why?
between his two little fingers.
Oh,
I'm like,
no,
that's
no.
so cute.
That accentuates
I wanted to
how
laugh,
small
but-
it is when he's got his two fingers.
I wanted to laugh, but I didn't want him to think I was being rude or anything. But
No,
I was
that-
laughing
I mean,
at
it
his
certainly
penis.
wouldn't be rude.
I mean, it's rude enough that you pulled your penis out in the first place, but I didn't want to be the
I would have
rude
no
one.
problem laughing.
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
is what I would classify
He didn't put it
as
right
a
back.
penis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Exactly.
It definitely was a penis.
A little millimeter pewter.
Well, I can.
Well, it was. I don't think it was that small. I'm thinking maybe 5, maybe 6 inches.
Oh,
Maybe
Okay.
six. Maybe 6.
6 inches
Did he have a
is
really
the
big
average.
hand?
That's
Like-
the average.
Mhm.
Honestly, 6 inches that's the average size. Of
That's the American
dick.
average. That's the American average. It can get bigger
Your
depending on
continents are
where
different.
you're. No, actually, South Americans actually have the biggest
Really?
dicks in the
I believe
world.
that 100%.
Really?
Yeah, South Americans do.
See,
I
in
mentioned
the
Armenians.
pornos,
Mhm.
I've noticed that Puerto Ricans have large ones.
Mm-hmm. But you know, in the
Puerto Ricans got nice
Existence.
too.
in the professional sex
the
world,
largeness.
that's what you look for. I mean, like we said in an episode a long time ago, nobody wants to see a small penis
No.
in their porn. So
And there's like a half-
Not even straight guys want to see it small.
So professionals, you know, they have to have a certain amount to get the job done
Right.
and to do the job. So that's that. I cannot believe I started. I'm sorry, ladies.
Well, listen.
This is still a gay man's talk show. So
We're talking
Right?
gay stuff.
Yeah.
We were
We're like,
you know,
we're just
we
that
weren't
left from-
offended.
I wasn't offended. I just
Not
went,
at all.
okay, all right.
I often think to
I was
myself,
flattered.
If you
'Cause like I
start
said,
taking
I'm
the bus 30 minutes
51.
early, if
I'm
you take the
51. I
bus-
thought those days were over with.
they're
If you
not
take the
over,
bus
girl.
before the one that you take to work, you have time to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just ride the loop again.
Yeah.
And like stay on and hit your stop on the way
Well,
back.
no, it wasn't. It was the bus that was going to work. Once I got off at the transit center,
That's
medical
a
center,
shame.
transit center, then it's going
You
to
could have
work.
hooked up if you were going home.
But it never happens when I'm going home. And I couldn't have hooked up because you were here.
I sure heard.
Right?
It's not like I'm going to say, hey, Randy, here's $20. Go to the movies for a couple of hours.
You could have done that. I haven't been to the movies in a while, girl. You could have done that.
Right?
Well, speaking of movies, has anybody seen the new Captain Marvel movie yet?
No, I haven't.
You know, I am. If anybody wants to go, I am more than willing to go.
And you know
to
what?
The movies
He actually
and see
invited
it.
me, and I said no because
But I
I'm
do want to see it.
I'm not a Captain Marvel. I'm not a Marvel person.
You're
I
not-
did go to the Spider-Man movie,
Mhm.
and I loved it. I
Mhm.
have to say, I love the Spider-Verse. I mean, the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
That was.
Then again, I had a little treat when I was watching it, so
Mhm.
it
Right.
was really cool
Mhm.
because that gummy bear whooped my ass,
Mhm.
girl. I thought the chair was
Mhm.
vibrating.
Mhm.
I'm like, is your seat vibrating to my friend? And who gave me the gummy bear, and he goes, no, girl, no, that's the gummy bear. I'm
Mhm.
like, damn, that's good stuff.
Mhm.
Right? Fuzzy
Yes.
fuzzy.
But
Mm-hmm.
no, but I can tell you that something interesting for me happened this week. Well,
Mhm.
last weekend actually. My mother and I went to a bar.
What? Get out of
Yes,
here.
Queen. And
Mhm.
listen, it was a honky tonk.
Mhm.
And we went and met my sister and her husband.
Mhm.
And it's a
Mhm.
really cool little bar in Huffman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, girl, this gay bitch was in Huffman at a bar. And I was a little nervous walking in, but the area that my sister and brother-in-law and mother were when we got
Right.
there, it's like a little living room with a TV and everything. And girl, you can smoke in Huffman bars. I love it.
Mhm.
I smoked. My mother's like, "Are you smoking?" I said, "I sure am."
Up in spring you can too.
But mother got really comfortable. I watched her play pool, and girl, she took off her blouse because it had gotten hot, and I'm like, my mother is walking around in a tank top. I sent you a picture.
Randy sent me a picture. Now, everything that I've heard about Randy's mother, I always thought that she was just some sweet little old lady,
No, girl.
just doing her thing. And I'm like, who is this hot woman
She let her
in her
feet
tank top
fly,
with no
girl.
bra? Was she wearing a bra?
She was wearing a bra. Lord have mercy. No, I was like, the girl
Mhm.
I was like, what are the girls doing out?
Mhm.
My
70-some
aunties-
years old.
My aunties
Mhm.
are out, girl.
Mhm.
I was like, okay.
And look good in a
And
t-shirt
She looked pretty
and
good.
a tank
She looks
top
good.
and
She's a beautiful woman.
and a
She
pair of
really is.
jeans. And I'm like, this can't be his mom. This must be one of his sisters
When
or
I was a
something.
little
Mhm.
girl, when my mother came up to school, I was
Mhm.
beaming with pride because I come from a really small town,
Mhm.
and those bitches let themselves go the minute they say I do.
Mhm. Go. They
start
go.
eating.
They go.
They start eating, girl.
Mhm.
They get some bad habits after they get land a man. But not my mother, honey. When she showed up in pumps every
Mhm.
time, and
Mhm.
the most flawless outfits. And she's 5'9",
Mhm.
and she's 5'9", 5'8", and in a pair of pumps, girl,
Mhm.
she's 6'3". She don't play.
Mhm.
She was flawless in
Mhm.
school, and I was always proud. That's my mama.
Mhm.
Hi, mom. Most kids be like, "Ooh, girl, here comes mama." Ooh, girl, my mama's here.
Mhm.
Anyway, so that was my thing that I did this week. Pinky, what happened?
And Pinky, tell everybody about who you are, because you are not on the show as much.
Oh, I'm so
I know.
sorry.
Yeah,
I should have
'cause you're-
said that.
yeah, you're not on the
Pinky
show as-
is-
Mhm.
I'm not on the
Maybe-
show as
maybe
much, so
more
we need
now,
more of an introduction.
Mhm.
To sort of reintroduce myself, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am a, quote unquote maker. Right now, the current discipline that I'm trying to master is carpentry. So I build, I do graphic design. Check out most of my stuff on Instagram at Pinky_mouse MAU5_85. And see what I'm working on, current stuff, idea stuff, drawings.
You know, I saw
etc.
that table that you built, and
Oh,
I
I love
thought,
that table.
and I just bought this table,
Right?
and I thought to myself, why did this bitch just bring this table over here?
And that's what I thought when I saw it. As a matter of fact,
When
when
you
I
said
saw it,
that
I
in the
thought to
group-
myself, is he making that for Joe? Because Joe bought a table. Damn.
Oh, the table could have gone back. If he had brought the table over, the table would have went right back.
Oh, and I sure did look around my shop to see
Mhm.
like what I had. But that
Mhm.
it's funny
Mhm.
because that table is really only like 24 inches across.
Mhm.
So it's a little tiny. It's actually an end table.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't have been good for
Mhm.
this. But I did look around.
Mhm. It looked bigger than I thought in the picture.
Yeah, it looked
like
a lot
a
bigger in the picture.
looked like a
Yeah.
dining room table, and I'm
Oh,
like,
the one underneath.
yeah, and
Yeah, that one is going to be a 4 foot by 9 foot. It's
Mhm.
a custom build that I'm working on.
Mhm.
But I got the end table sitting on top of it because I'm laminating
Mhm.
the bigger one underneath.
You're just a Jill of all trades, girl.
I'm telling
You're just a
you.
Jill of all
I
trades.
wish I knew how to do something.
I know how to do I know how to do light carpentry from when I worked with my dad in the furniture store. I can recover a couch like nothing in the world.
Girl, see,
Mhm.
I'm never good with,
Yes, ma'am.
my hands except
Mhm.
for some things.
I used to build beds and all
I
kinds of
can't
stuff.
build shit
Mhm.
with problems. That's all I can do. Stress and worry.
Mhm.
18 months ago,
Mhm.
I knew none of this.
Mhm.
It's all like thanks to what I call YouTube U. So
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
just watching it as I go, and I practice by making stuff
Mhm.
like as I need it in the shop, carts.
Girl,
Mhm.
you could, but
Benches,
see,
etc.
you'll have a job for life.
Mhm.
Exactly, and
I'm
that's
just a waitress, honey, and I can't work anymore.
Well, I'm a bartender, so I pretty much have a job for
Exactly.
life.
I'm a waitress,
Yeah.
but I can't. A
Mhm.
waitress who can't walk ain't a waitress anymore.
Mhm. That's true.
I think
That
you could
is
do
true.
Sonic though if you got
Mhm.
yourself a rascal.
Miss
You
Sonic.
just have to watch out for the curve.
Girl,
Well-
that would be cute though.
Mhm.
I would roll up in a rascal.
Mhm. Well, just to throw it out there,
Burger.
Charles will be hosting next week's show. So,
Yes.
yes. So,
Charles
y'all will get to
Pinky.
hear Charles, Miss Pinky. Hopefully, Chris will be here. Poor Chris. He's got some medical issues.
He's under the weather, and I hope he gets better. Of course, we all hope he gets better.
They're gonna get that Hot Wheels car out of there, I believe.
Oh, girl.
Woo! I hope so.
Hot Wheels car, indeed. Well, it is
Love
Women's
Chris.
Month, and I would be remiss if I didn't say something about a woman,
Mhm.
any woman.
Mhm.
And frankly, we've all had women in our lives
Mhm.
that have made some contribution or not.
Mhm.
Some are
Right.
bitches,
Mhm.
some are wonderful.
Mhm.
And I just thought it might be kind of fun for us all to say a little something about women in our lives.
Well, the bitches, I don't want to name any names. I just want to tell a couple stories. So I'm not going to, well, maybe one I might
do
name
tell.
the name.
Oh, please. Nothing. You don't have to name names, but do tell.
Mm-hmm. It was a certain boss I had at a little restaurant called Baba Yaga's, and she and I did not get along. And I don't understand how. I have this belief that when you're my boss, we are not friends. I'm your employee.
I get
You are
that.
my boss.
I get that.
But she tried to be everybody's friend, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't play that way. I need you to be in charge because when you're friends, it can get ugly.
Right. The
It
lines
can
get
get
murky.
ugly. Yeah, the waters can get
Yeah.
murky because I used to work with a certain Miss David White years ago when he was my boss, and sometimes things,
Well,
sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes things would just get,
Right.
Well, may I interject for just a moment and say something? When your boss is your friend, they also think they can talk to you all
Yeah, exactly.
And so that opens up a Pandora's box.
Right.
Because I've had that problem with a boss who was my friend, and we end up, and there's some fuck yous that have flown around back and forth.
Well,
Yeah,
right.
it's not
exactly.
cute.
It's not
It's not
because
cute.
fan and just-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
They don't mind not being your friend when it's time to write somebody up. They're not going to take the
Exactly.
for it.
So you're right.
No,
Joe.
so
I
it's just
completely
easier to
agree.
keep it that way. The funny thing is that the bitch fired me for the saddest of reasons, and I knew why she fired me. I won 3 awards at that restaurant. I was the #1 waiter in that restaurant, and because of one Sunday brunch when we had just had a 22 top. Me and another waiter, and all I did was lean against the pole to take a little bit of a break before I started cleaning up. She comes out, aren't you going to start cleaning up? Yes, I'm just taking a little bit of a break, and then I'll get started because I have another table coming up. And then the very next day, she said, well, you were standing around doing nothing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, I'm just going to have to let you go because this is not a working relationship. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I walked out. I got a job the very next day, so I didn't even care.
Well, of course you did.
And
Right.
then I found out that the one that because she used to hire super cute hot boys to work there,
Right.
and the one she hired ended up stealing $3,000.
Oh, see?
Stole $3,000 under her watch because she wanted to be friends.
See, that's what comes up. Trying to be friends with your employees. It doesn't always. More often than not, you're right. It doesn't work.
And I can't get sued because she don't work there anymore because they got bought out by somebody else.
They did.
And yeah,
and
they
now
did.
I think they're closed.
And now they're closed
Yes,
because they had
in the parking lot.
another fire. They had like 5 fires.
Girl, somebody set that fire. Somebody set that goddamn. The first fire was set, and the second fire was somebody was setting fires over Baba Yaga, over off of Grant. Somebody there's a litter bug. There's a litter bug on Grant, and there's a fire bug on Grant. The two bitches got together. Somebody burned some trash inside of that restaurant.
That's okay. For the new owners, they wanted to do expansion anyway, so this just helps them
There you
get that expansion done. So it works out fine. They get the insurance money, plus they get to expand. So they're
Of
good.
course, we're not trying to actually smear anybody and say they started a fire.
We're not insinuating.
No.
Let's not get sued.
Let's not get sued.
There's no allegedly.
There's no allegedly because we don't know. We don't even know who did it.
We're just talking shit.
It could have been a gas stove in the
could've
back. It could have been some
anything.
electrical work. It
We're
could have
just
been
talking
anything.
Shit, y'all. We're not trying to get sued over here. And it's my fault because I brought it up. Shit.
So that's the only biatch.
It's a big
Because I have had a lot of women, influential women, in my life. And like I said, I was a little apprehensive about, because I don't want to name names.
Right.
You know, I don't mind talking about certain women that I knew who inspired me. I mean, my friend Veronica has inspired me more than anybody else because she and I have known each other for years and years and years. And she went back to college. She got her degree. She,
That is inspiring.
while taking care of her man at the same time.
And that can be
And doing all her stuff, and she is a part of a group of her friends who are all successful. One is a lawyer. I forget what the other one is, but one is a lawyer, and you know, she's out there doing her thing. So I admire her for that. And she used to put up with all my stuff. I went through a little phase where when I was working at another place where I would say horrible things to women just to get a rile.
What?
Just to get a rile. Things like, yeah, you need to get back to your table because obviously, as a woman, you know how to take care of a table like you know how to take care of a kitchen.
Ooh.
Or other, stuff along the line. Because I would hear my dad say that to his wives.
Sexist.
His wives all the
Very
time.
sexist,
It was very
right.
sexist. But for me, it was an experiment, just to see how far I could go. One time I said something, all the women just looked at me and just went, And Veronica threw.
Hard line.
That was. I think I said something about somebody being a cow.
Ooh.
Lord.
And all I know is I saw a tray flying across the restaurant and hit me right in the leg.
Oh, no,
And
ma'am.
she said, "Oh no, ma'am, you crossed the line. Stop it right now." And I stopped, and I never said a word again.
That's too funny.
I was young, so I was just being foolish and stupid. But it was really me. In my mind, when I was looking at it at the time, it was me trying to get women to break out of the idea of listening to what men say when it comes to their lives,
Right.
and to
So
break away
So
from that.
this was sort of your way of sort of teaching moment for women,
Yeah,
if you will.
exactly. It was a horrible way to do it.
Right? And you were.
It was a horrible way to do
Your heart
it.
was in the right
But
place.
my
girl.
heart, but she
Your words
understood.
weren't, but your heart was.
She understood, and let me tell you, we have been on some adventures, none of which I can tell on the show because this bitch would kill me,
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
and her husband would kill me too. So I cannot talk about some of the amazing things that I watched. This woman did some amazing things,
And she continues to do
and she
amazing things.
continues to do amazing things. So I
You know,
admire her
that's
for
funny
that.
afterwards because I'm imagining like
Mhm.
fruits and veggies and like.
Mhm.
Oh, no. Oh,
no.
no. The fruits and vegetables.
Mm-mm.
No, this is not Roseanne Barr's
No,
story.
exactly.
You started
Because,
talking.
you know, Roseanne Barr talked about her mother placing fruit in her vagina.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
In her
Like,
book.
we do it.
You read the book?
Like, no, bitch, I just heard about it.
Oh, okay.
I heard about it on TV, girl.
Mhm.
Talk about her mother put pineapples in her stuff. Girl, don't nobody want to hear that shit.
Mm-mm. Well, she wrote it in her book.
Mama,
So I
Mama's
guess.
making a fruit salad up
They had-
in her vagina.
Right?
I don't want to know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Well, you know, the funny thing is that Randy on Friday said, "Hey, it's International Women's Day, so we're gonna do a show dedicated to women on our next show." I get a text message at 7:00 in the morning from one of our female listeners who has listened to every episode of our show. Hello, Amanda. How
Thank you,
doing?
Amanda, by the way.
And she commented, she goes, "I'm sorry, it's International Women's Day. Are y'all going to do a show about us?" And
thought
I
it was
said,
month. I thought it was month.
"Yeah, no, it was, well, it's still a whole month,
know.
but it was International
It was the
Women's
actual
Day."
Well,
day.
the
Yeah.
thing is, because I hear day, and then I'm thinking, I
Yeah.
thought it was month. Shows
No,
how
it's
much
still
I
a
know
month.
about- shows how
It's
much I
still a
know
month,
about
but it's-
calendar.
It starts with International Women's Day.
Day. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's like, "I need to have that episode." I said, "Randy already talked about it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So, girl, you're going to have your International Women's Day episode."
And shout out to Amanda. We really appreciate
Mhm.
you. And tell your friends, girl, we need more super fans.
Mhm,
And
exactly.
we need. Listen, I hate to break away and say this again. I'm not going to say it after I say it just one last time.
Mm.
People, please communicate with us and let us know you're listening. 'Cause
Mhm.
we were, like I said, there might be some aliens out there listening. Don't want anybody to know who they are.
Mhm.
And I'm talking about aliens from outer space, by the way.
Right? Yes, that's what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
You
a
have to
Oompa Loompa in the White
specify.
House.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, she said Oompa Loompa. He's orange, but girl, that man is 6'3".
Mm-hmm. Good
Anyway,
Lord.
but he is orange.
He's like Elf.
Like
he
Will
is
Ferrell and Elf.
Exactly.
Yes.
Lord.
Mm-mm.
Well, anybody else inspire you to have a story?
I think women in general just inspire me.
Yeah.
I have grown up with women my entire life because my dad, first of all, liked to marry a lot of them. And secondly, you know, I would sit and listen to women's conversations. Now, when you sit around a bunch of black women, it is the funnest time that I could possibly have. And my dad would always be like, "Stop sitting around with all those women. All they do is chat about this and that and blah blah blah." I'm like, that's why I like to sit around.
Well, as a person who's done it, yes, I love it. Right.
I love hearing women talk because women are,
Girl.
they can be terrible. Ooh, Lord, they
All
they
you
can
hear about is
talk.
like the type of things guys talk about, the way that they talk when they're doing guy talk, and it's like you don't think about women talk being the same way, but it's just as bad, if not worse.
And you mothers out there, I have heard y'all talk about y'all kids when y'all kids are not around. And let me tell you, y'all say some horrible things about your own
Right?
kids.
Yeah.
Your own kids. So,
Right.
but your kids are never around. So it's fun. But I heard one mother, yes, I heard one mother say, you know what? I love my child so much, but he is dumb as a brick.
Oh.
I mean, he
that's
is
something
just dumb as a brick. And she told a story about him with a hot dog she had to come to school because he was chasing the girls around with a hot dog between his legs.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh no.
I said, what? And she said, that's what he did. That dumbass was running around the school. I said, well, where did he get it? She goes, I have no idea where he got that from. Well, we had to have a conversation.
They didn't get it from nowhere. It may not have been a hot dog.
No, it was a hot. She said it was a hot dog.
Well, not that, right, but maybe not where he got the idea from. Wasn't somebody running around with ball carts?
It might have been. He might have saw his daddy running around doing that.
Exactly.
But
He just chased his mom around the living room.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but have y'all ever caught your parents when you were a kid having sex?
Oh,
No, thank you, Lord.
oh God. I've never caught them, but like, there's a story about one of my parents, and they would meet up with this person they were seeing, and like me and my brothers would be like there, and they would be like doing it in the car, parked in front of the car that we
In
were
the
also
car?
in. Not in the car we were in,
Oh.
but they do the car in front of the car we were in.
Oh my.
Oh my
Well, I
goodness.
never caught my parents having sex, but I did walk in the room one time when my mother was putting on her blouse and she didn't have anything on. I was like, woo! That's enough for me. I'm glad I didn't see any of this stuff.
Oh,
Girl,
my
it would be
goodness.
scarred for life. I'm glad I heard him once. Me and my sister heard him once in the living room, and we were dying laughing because we were in our teens, and we heard him, and I was like, "Oh, girl, oh no!" And of course, we were drinking in the living room when we heard him.
Well,
The second they started coming out of the bedroom, I'd start making the same noises and just like, we know.
I came from unconventional black parents who didn't have a problem with nudity. Everybody would walk around in their underwear, bras, and panties. And, well, I mean, it's three brothers, my mother and my father, walk around in their underwear, bra, and everything else. Nobody had a problem with. I had seen my daddy's penis so many times it was ridiculous.
Girl.
I know exactly what it looks like from tip to toe. And that sounds terrible. Oh my
When you
goodness.
say it like
Oh
that,
my God.
It really doesn't. You're just describing. But you know, you didn't say anything dirty.
No. And as a child, all I thought was, I hope mine looks like that someday. That's all I thought. That was
See,
all
that
I
begs
thought.
the question, though.
It ain't begging no question from me.
Did it
Must be begging one for
Did it
you.
ever look like that?
I'm not gonna say a word on that.
I was like, did you have one of those things on the wall where like you measure your height? Where you like stand with your face to the door frame and like measure
No, I
Have
didn't.
mercy. I'm not even. I'm not even. interested
And you know
in
what?
this.
I'm gonna throw my mother in there a little bit because she was. Katie, I love you when I say this, so you know the truth. If you
Hi,
ever
Katie.
listening to this, but the fact of the matter is that she was not the mother type. She was a horrible cook.
Oh,
She barely knew how to take care of us.
oh, she's gonna kill you.
And my parents, they were of the party set, so they were 70s cocktails
Right.
in the
My
afternoon
parents-
with their
my parents were like that.
friends.
I envy kids whose parents were like that.
Half the time I made their drinks for them.
Oh, girl.
I started out bartending
I
when
know
I
you were nipping.
was 6 or 7. No, I wasn't
Taking a
nipping.
little nip.
I had no interest. I did not like the way it made my parents look. So no, I never touched it. It wouldn't be until years later where I would touch the juice.
Till now.
But I did not. No, I didn't want to. No, I didn't want to get started and all that. But she, when they got divorced, she did not get custody because she had. Oh, she also had a lot of mental issues as well.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
she had to deal with all of that, and she knew she couldn't raise us. She did the best that she could, but she knew she couldn't raise us. And she had the strength to let us go, basically, because she knew we'd be better hands with our father, which, by the way, wasn't that much of a...
You know, the same thing happened to me when
Well-
my parents divorced.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
you do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've said it before, and it's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
When you knew better, you did better,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's too late
Yeah.
to do better.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean
Mhm.
that she didn't try, because you know she
Mhm.
tried.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
love her and respect her for trying.
Yeah, exactly. So, so when I call her by her first name, she doesn't get upset or anything because she understands what's going on.
Right.
But for the most part, she has traveled around the world. She has
Oh wow.
worked at several large corporations and made it very high up on the ladder. She was that type. And I told her, I said, if you didn't have us, you could have really, really been super successful at whatever you
Were it
wanted
not
to do.
for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that's probably what it was. I mean, she had more of a killer instinct than
Yeah.
a nurturing,
Yeah.
maternal.
And this goes back to everything that we're talking about with Women's Day. She was a product of the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So she wanted to go to college. She wanted to be independent. She wanted all this
Right.
other stuff, and she was not groomed to be that way.
Right.
Her mother said you have to get married. You have.
And she wanted
Yeah,
to take
see,
my
advantage
mother-
of
my
all of
mother
those things that just
was-
became
Mhm.
available
My
to
mother
them.
was the quintessential housewife girl.
Mhm.
She was dressed to the nines when my father got home
Mhm.
from work. There was dinner on the table at 5 o'clock
Mhm.
every damn day.
Mhm.
It took my father exactly 10 and a half minutes to get home.
Mhm.
Everything was set.
Mhm.
Mother was June
The
Cleveland.
homemaker,
Mhm.
right?
Homemaker.
It was more baking. And not
Well-
like it is today, like hang out with the nanny.
Pinky, what about you? What kind of experiences have you had with women? Positive, negative, whatever?
Second base is the furthest, but no. On a serious note, I kind
What
of
does second base mean?
He's
with
talking
girls?
about sex. I'm like, no, girl, we're not talking about
No,
sex.
what does second? No, what does second base
Second
mean?
base is when you get to feel
it's
the
like
titties.
under the sweater petting, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I guess
but
it got to maybe third base.
not
then.
the whole titty. No, you don't get to feel the skin. You go under the sweater and you feel the bra, and you got a
Okay.
titty in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Girl,
Maybe like 2.5. I got
I have
tagged in between
man
second and
boobs,
third.
girl. I'm doing that and I'm illustrating. I'm like, girl, I got
You really are. She got the whole mini in the hand.
But at least they're pert.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Right.
so Pinky, what had happened, girl?
So, and when I heard that this was going to be our topic and we are going to be doing Women's Day, and I was like trying to figure out, and I'm thinking of all of these things, and like, so I can't just name one, and I've got to do it like an Oscar speech.
Mhm.
I kind of just like read off this list until I read on the teleprompter where it says like close.
Well,
soon.
girl, you do you.
You do you, girl.
So I'm just gonna go through the list. Like my Grams, Marcella is super my hero. Went back after all her kids were grown, finished high school, got her college degree. Like if she can do it, I can do it. Totally my hero. My aunt, her daughter, Paniota Heron, is the most badass aunt anyone could ever ask for. My mom, Juliana. Courtney Van Sickle, my first love. First and only lady love. Donna Hayes, who was my Cub Scout leader. And my best friend's mother, totally my second mom, and somebody that I confided if I ever like had an issue that I needed to talk to somebody about, she'd probably be one of the very first people I'd call. Stephanie Downing, Madison Marcus, Charlotte Wright, Lauren Mackey.
Girl, this is lit. I do feel like I'm at the Oscars.
I know.
All of them have different last names
Mhm.
because they're all married now. So if any of you are listening, I apologize for not knowing your married names, but I never will.
Mhm.
I sure hit it.
Tara Reid for being gorgeous, a successful actress, and Ivy League educated.
Mm-hmm.
Tara
You know,
Reid.
Tara Reid is
I didn't know
From
that.
Sharknado, Tara
a
Reid. Tara
graduate
Reid.
of Yale.
Bitch, I didn't
From
know
Sharknado.
So you can be
Tara
beautiful
Reid.
and smart.
Okay,
super
give it
smart.
to
You know,
Tara
but you
Reid.
know
I did
Tara
not
Reid.
know.
I don't know her, but she is a
Oh,
woman.
she's a
who
woman
is-
that you appreciate.
That's an
and
aspect
respect.
that I
That is
appreciate.
I thought that
She
she
is
was
gorgeous.
just.
Girl, shout out to Tara Reid.
I don't mean no
girl.
harm, but I just thought Tara Reid was just some
Well,
bimbo who got a
blonde.
really bad breast job. That's all I
Girl,
thought.
she did get a really bad.
She got a
breast
really
job.
bad
She
breast
got it repaired,
job.
though.
Yeah, she got it
Right?
fixed.
She
Thank
got it all
God.
evened
Bless
out.
her heart.
Maybe that's why she was drinking so much. Her titties were all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I
My
drink a lot too.
photography
Fucked up.
teacher all through
Mhm.
high school for
Mhm.
being patient and awesome and working with me and getting me
Mm-hmm.
to those advanced levels. Angie Wolney,
Mhm.
Mrs. Seabour, my interior design teacher, who
Hmm.
had a big long spiel about the point being be a good person and love yourself before you start
Mm-hmm.
trying to get that from others. Kelly Clarkson, huge in my life, has carried me through every kind of emotional upset I've ever had, every breakup,
Mhm.
everything.
And she's a
She sings me
Texan.
right
Mhm.
through
She's a
it.
Texan.
Mhm.
Love her.
I would go straight for Kelly, I think, maybe.
Mhm.
But I don't think she would make me. I think we could probably share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia O'Keeffe for kind of opening art as the surrealness of art and being able to draw things the way that you see them
Mm-hmm.
Right.
or interpret them the way that you see them
Mhm.
and express that
Right.
versus
I like
just
Georgia
what other
O'Keeffe's
people
art.
Mhm.
Yeah.
want it to be. And I think that about does it for my list.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to give a shout out to a few of, and as the black person at this table, I want to give a couple of shout outs to a couple of the ladies in my group who I
In
would.
my group, I love you.
First of all, let's talk about the incomparable Miss Grace Jones,
Ooh, girl.
who walked down a runway at 73 years old and showed those young models how to do that shit.
She's everything, girl.
She is everything. Walked up there and those. Oh, by the way, it looked like the same boots that you wore the last time those red pumps.
Oh yeah.
But they were in boot form. Walking down that runway at 73 years old.
That
Bitch is
worked.
worked
I
in.
watched. Joel showed me that catwalk bitch.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. She let him have it.
She let them have it. Every model that was on the backstage with. So that's how you do it.
Oh, is that how it's
Is
supposed to
that's
go?
how it's done. That's how she
Right.
had that little turn,
Mhm.
and those bitches would woo.
Yes, ma'am, girl.
I want to throw a shout out to Miss Angelica Ross. Now, we were supposed to talk about you several times, but we got caught up in all kinds of stuff because she is an actress from Pose.
Oh, yes.
She also has her own tech company.
Mm-hmm.
She is smart, has her own tech
Now, see,
company.
that's women doing
And she,
things that,
Mhm.
you know, that are so
yeah,
important.
exactly. And she is doing everything she can to help the transgender community,
Mhm.
the gay community, the lesbians, everybody else to get into tech because she feels that in order to have more exposure and to have a more positive life on transgender women,
Right.
you have to get into the tech field.
Right.
Sure.
You can be more than just
Yes,
an
you can just be more than an entertainer. And to give them hope that they can do more.
Exactly.
Then now let's be honest here, and I'm going to be really, really honest when it comes to our transgender women. They have a hard time getting jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hard time finding employment. A lot of them end up on the street hooking, just to make ends meet.
Well,
And especially women of color, So they have a hard time just trying to get by in life. And she is giving hope that
Right. You don't have
there's
to
more
sacrifice
to
one or
life.
the other.
There are other avenues that
There's
you can
other
take.
avenues that you can take.
Entrepreneurial
Yeah,
ventures,
yeah,
things like
exactly.
that.
So
you got to think outside of the box
Mhm.
when you're literally
Mhm.
outside of the box.
yeah, exactly.
See, and I have to agree with that, but I have a different way that I
Mhm.
like to express it to show that there's more than just
hmm
the box inside and
Mhm.
outside the box. Like a box doesn't always do the job.
hmm
Take apart the box and build what you need out of the pieces.
hmm
You know.
No, but you know what I'm saying
Right,
about
no,
the box.
absolutely.
The box
Mhm.
is society,
Exactly.
and when you're out, because come on now, it's
Mhm.
hard for a lot of people to accept transsexual.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
listen, I don't pretend to understand transsexuality. We've had this discussion.
Mhm.
And I think that's it. I think it's just too confusing.
But,
Mhm.
but can you imagine being someone who isn't a homosexual, someone who isn't
Mm-hmm.
a person who's denigrated by society already. You know, we got our own problems in the gay community about how people treat us. Imagine being transsexual and how hard it's 10 times harder.
Right, because you got it inside and outside.
Because not every person who transitions looks. Listen, I've said this before. I don't mean no harm. Not every person who transitions looks like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or a man.
Well, no, they look like some of them, unfortunately, look
Well,
like men
you
in
transition
wigs
both
and
ways.
dresses.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Mhm.
yeah.
So,
But I know a lot of women who look exactly the same. I know a lot of biological women,
girl,
6'4", built like a Mack truck.
Right.
shout out
One-
to Barbara Jenkins from my childhood, honey, because bless her heart, and she looked just like a
I
man.
saw a lot of that
Just
when
like a
I
man.
saw a lot of that in Alaska. A lot of flannel shirts in Alaska. A lot of flannel. But I saw a lot of big built women in Alaska. And, you know, living an Alaskan life is hard.
Girl, I watched
It is
those Alaska
hard.
shows
Yeah.
with my father,
Yeah.
and you've got to have
Yeah.
some girth to
You got to have some girth. You
Because
got to
if
get...
you don't, you'll die.
Because a lot of these women do live... I have met a lot... You know, the most amazing thing was when I was in Alaska, meeting a lot of women who lived on their own, who hunted, who fished,
Oh, you gotta hunt.
who did all that
Yeah.
stuff.
You have
And-
to eat protein.
Mhm.
Protein is what
Yeah.
keeps you alive in
Mhm.
Alaska.
Because your muscles are constantly in a
Yeah,
state of
exactly.
breakdown.
So I saw a lot of women who
All
were
that damn coke.
working on fishing boats, who were working on oil rigs,
Yeah.
who were doing all. So I was like, oh wow, this is something I would never. The women in Houston, good lord. Texas women
You
are
gotta
all
go to
about being
Galleria
as
and-
feminine as they possibly can
Yes,
be.
indeed. So it's got to be hard
So-
to be a transsexual woman
Mm-hmm.
in Texas.
Exactly. So women are just in Texas. Women are just trying to be the most feminine as they can be. We're in Alaska. Women are like, I gotta survive.
Exactly.
I gotta live up here. And some
So
of
I
these,
got to shoot a deer.
and some of these men up here, I gotta protect myself. So I got kids.
Right.
I got to be able to take care of myself.
Yes, indeed.
So yes. So the women in Alaska were not.
Well,
Mm-mm.
I want to take a moment to appreciate some women in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my mother being the first on the list because I have so much respect for my mother. She didn't graduate from junior high, girl.
Mm-hmm.
She was married at 15.
Oh wow.
Yes, and she started having children in her 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I guess she was 18
Mhm.
when she had my sister, and then we followed. All planned pregnancies, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really.
Well, so they had
Anyway.
3 years where they could just be married.
Just
Yeah,
chill.
Yeah, they could be just
Right.
chill.
And so, and
Mhm.
she's a true
So you do.
housewife, but she also started
Mhm.
her own business
Mm-hmm.
as an interior decorator.
Mhm.
And girl, she made a fortune
Mm-hmm.
in Greenville, Mississippi, honey, a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went on to get her education as a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
She was a hospice nurse, actually. Her hospice nurse education, which is not a full-on nurse, but girl, you still study.
You still have to have.
You still study,
Right,
and
you
you
have to
still have to
certified-
certify.
Mhm.
Yes,
And
but
it's
my mother
good.
is everything, honey. She plays pool.
Mm-hmm.
She takes off her blouse when she's hot because she
Mhm.
don't care. And so
Mm-hmm.
she brings the girls
Mhm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
Mhm.
Anyway, my mother is everything, but
Mhm.
my two sisters are amazing too. My sister, one sister, Sandy, she runs a law firm, girl.
Mhm.
She runs that law
Mhm.
firm. And my sister Candy works for an oil, I can't say the name of the oil company, but she works for an oil company, and they actually created, she's such a good damn employee, they actually created a position for her
Mm-hmm.
that takes her all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
So I'm proud of those girls.
Mm-hmm.
But now, there are other girls.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, my English teacher from high school, I won't say her name,
Mhm.
but I will tell you this. Going over there was cute.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to her house, and we'd hang out, and we'd drink wine, girl.
Mhm.
That's why I'm not saying her name.
Mhm.
We would drink red wine and smoke cigarettes and,
Mhm.
and just talk.
Mm-hmm.
And she made me so comfortable with being gay. in high school, she was like, come out.
Mhm.
Nobody cares.
Mhm.
Nobody's going to care. And I grew up in a very small town.
Mhm.
But she was the one who said, you need to come out.
Mhm.
Because there are other gay kids that are in lower classes, because I was a junior in high school.
Mhm.
And she said, just come out.
Mhm.
And so I did. And guess what? It worked out just fine.
Well, you know, realize that teachers just can't be that way anymore.
No,
I used
hell
to-
no.
my
she would be in
teachers-
prison.
I know my teachers, when I was growing up, were some of the most influential people in my life
Right.
when I was growing up. So, and it's particularly, and it's always an English teacher. My
Yeah.
English teacher, we had one super openly gay kid, and this was 1983. One superly open gay kid in the class called out sick for the flu, and of course AIDS was going on at the
Oh my
time.
effing goodness.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
and this is a boy who used to walk in. He would sit at his little desk right by the door, and he would always pull out his little compact and adjust his makeup
Oh, bitch! You got
and fix his hair.
Mad
Yes.
respect for that.
And all the
Mad
boys,
respect for that bitch.
all the boys in the class would laugh at him and everything else. I had mad respect
Girl,
for
nobody
him.
wants to be shiny.
Mm-mm.
But the other woman in my life that
Mhm.
made a difference was, and I've spoken about her before,
Mhm.
Miss Isabel Cooley.
Mhm.
She made me, and listen, this is an important thing for everybody out there to know.
Mhm.
You need to respect your elders, and
Mhm.
I'm talking about women, men. People need company, and listen, old folks got a lot of good stories.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of good stories.
Mhm.
Isabel was 68 years old. I was 18.
Mhm.
I met her at a local production of Driving Miss Daisy.
Hmm. Of course.
And, right? In Greenville,
Right.
Mississippi.
The
Of
only one they
course.
played.
Mhm.
And so, girl,
Mhm.
she was everything. And we ended up being the closest of friends. She was a Hollywood actress.
Mhm.
She knew everybody in old Hollywood. Used to get weed through the mail from
Mhm.
Diane Ladd and Robert Blake.
Mhm.
Diane Ladd, you know I talked about you before anyway.
Mhm.
So, girl. Anyway, Isabel was awesome. We'd sit around and drink and listen to Billie Holiday
Mhm.
and just love her.
Mhm.
And we had an affair of the heart.
Mhm.
And I think it's important for people to realize that people of a certain age, 68 is not old, by the
Mhm.
way, but for an 18-year-old to be hanging out with a 68-year-old woman, it was awesome. She knew everybody in Hollywood. Girl told me stories about her husband who had passed, Jack Nicholson, and girl, she knew everybody in Hollywood.
Mhm.
And then after her, I have to say that I loved my friend. I love my friend Lynn. She's still alive.
Mhm.
But I have so much respect for her. She brought up her child
Mhm.
as a single mother. Her husband never paid any child
Mhm.
support. Lived down the damn street. She
Mhm.
never asked for a penny
Mhm.
from him. Put herself through college, put her child through college,
Mhm.
and is a brilliant, successful woman today.
Mhm.
So, now do I have oh, you forgot, by the way, Charles Pinky, you forgot to talk about the bitch in your life, but you want to talk about a bitch?
I'm trying to think. The only thing that I can necessarily associate with women and the negativity aspect, and
Mhm.
when listening to what you guys had, because before that I had nothing,
Mhm.
but an absolute moment, when you were, you hit that wall
Mhm.
with what the boundary was with.
Mhm.
Okay, that's not okay. We're not playing anymore.
Mhm.
That's totally not funny. I was getting ready. I was getting out of my dad's car, and I guess some lady or something she cut him off or something, and he he used the C word. He was like, "Come on,"
Mhm.
and then he took time before I got out of the car to clarify that was not an okay thing
Yeah.
ever.
Oh, that's not
To
okay.
ever call a woman a cunt ever.
Mhm.
Never do it. And it happens in extreme circumstances, but that stuck with me, and never to this day have I ever.
I have never called a woman a
I've
cunt.
never that
I have-
word to me that word
I
is like a
have
stab.
never.
that to me is a visceral word.
It really
cuts
is.
You,
It's
That
it
is-
cuts your stomach open.
I will
no
say
level of
this.
truth.
I
No,
will
that's
say
not at
this.
all.
That is the only word that compares to the N word. Because that word is the most hurtful word to women.
Right.
and
It is
it's
the mo-
powerful because
yeah,
it's
exactly.
so violent.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and I think I was like 9.
That's a very
When I had the conversation with
violent,
my
violent word,
Mhm.
just like the N word is
And-
a violent word. And
and
fag,
it's like
and
used all
fag
the
is a
time.
violent word
Mhm.
too.
Yeah.
But fag's number 3.
Mhm.
The cunt's on the top, and the N word's on under that. But
Mhm.
bitch.
Yeah.
No, that's-
I mean,
Yeah.
it's interesting
Mhm.
because I use the word all the time.
Mhm.
Like in the English sense where I'm talking about
Yes,
but I would
because-
never use it in reference to a woman.
The English use that word
Right.
quite a lot.
Oh yeah.
But they
Oh,
have a
yeah.
different understanding
I
of
would
the
call a
word.
guy-
But they
I would
call
call a
men.
guy-
They call men that.
Yeah,
don't
but
call
they have a different
women.
understanding of the word. American women, no, you do not call an American woman. You do not call an American woman a cunt. You do not do that. I don't even like saying it. Just sounds.
It just it tickles my throat. to
And like
even
I'll
say
hear
it.
somebody else say it, and I like
Mhm.
I worked at a
Not around
restaurant
me.
one. I worked at a restaurant one time that was run by a foreign gentleman.
Yeah.
I won't say what his ethnicity. It doesn't matter. But this girl that worked there, he just told her flat out. He said, "You're a C," and I'm like, "This man owns this place.
Mhm.
She could own him,
Mhm.
but because they were of the same ethnicity,
Mhm.
he knew he could say it to her."
Mhm.
And it's like, did he just? And I told her, "Bitch, are you crazy? You
Randy.
need to sue him."
yeah, that's one of those things where like even
Randy,
I
you
heard you say
actually
that around
can.
me.
You can say the word cunt. Just
I
say
don't
the
like
word.
saying it. Don't say it. I
Just
don't
say the
like
word
saying it.
cunt.
I'm not saying it. I don't. It
But
makes me
I feel
uncomfortable.
like that there's a new
It
generation
puts
of
that tickle in
women.
my throat. I don't
There's a
like
new generation of women who are looking at the word cunt
As like I'm a cunt. Get out
and
of my
taking
way.
it back as and saying that this is our word.
I prefer
So we're
bitch.
gonna use
I
it.
prefer women saying, "Yes, I'm a bitch," and what?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think that
I think
bitch
bitch
isn't as
is-
powerful. It's not.
No.
It's not as visceral.
It's lost
You
its
just say it's
power.
not, bitch is not
I
visceral.
love the fact that bitch has lost its power.
So y'all hate the word, but now you're encouraging people to use the word.
well, no,
I would never use it.
No, I would only encourage women to use the word
I don't
because
mind.
I want them to use the word like black
I'm
people
cunty,
use the
you
N
know,
word.
like, right.
Oh, I don't like
Yeah.
black people using the
I-
N word either, and
I-
I think that
I will-
it's
I
gonna
will say that,
it's gonna
too. I
create
don't-
a double standard too. You know what?
I don't like to use it either.
We're part of a special club
Mhm.
as gay men,
Mhm.
and we can say fag all day long
Because it's our, and we reclaimed it as our
because
word.
Guess what?
I do
We
not.
deserve it. But
Mhm.
but here's the thing, Pinky. We don't say. I don't say it all.
I don't
along,
say it.
but
I don't say it at all.
It's not something I say. But what I'm saying is this: we've done the struggle.
Mhm.
So and
Right.
we're here.
Right. And for me, that's enough to say that should be buried. If we've gone through that and the struggle is over with that, it needs to be archived.
I feel
and,
the
and
same.
read in history books. And
I
then-
feel the same way about the
about the
N
N-word.
word.
All of it.
I
And I
want it to
think-
be buried. I
You know
want it
what?
to
If
be
you
done.
would take the power out, if you'd stop using it,
Mhm.
and there's in rap culture.
Mhm.
It's used so often, it's ridiculous, and
Mhm.
desensitizes people. And it especially desensitizes white kids.
Mhm. Yeah,
And white
exactly.
kids don't mean no harm. They're just
Yeah, they're
Right.
talking. They're
They're
talking
just
that
singing a
language.
song in their
they
car.
say
They talking the language
and I'm
of
gonna say
their
it,
heroes, which
they
are
say,
rappers.
listen, white kids will say, listen, my nigga. And it's
Mhm.
like, wait a minute, you don't get to say that.
Mm-mm.
Because they think they can.
Because they can.
But
Mhm.
Because you took
listen,
the power away
they
from one.
think they
you took
can
the power away from all of
because
them,
they
in
hear
my
it all the
opinion.
time in rap songs.
I'm all about that
And-
being a little
And
pain.
honestly, this was the one moment when Randy used the word. I had to hold my hand back because I will slap a white
I
person.
used the
Yeah, the
A.
baby powder out.
Yes,
Listen,
I
listen.
will use. I will.
Uh,
Trust me, I have had this conversation with straight white guys who are into rap culture,
But-
and when I actually walked up on a conversation, and this was the funny thing, Randy. This is the funny thing. I was walking into my workplace at the time, and I listened to two young white guys who were into rap culture, and I knew they were into rap culture.
Referring
And
to each other
they're
like that.
and they were like, "Hey, my nigga, what's going on?" Blah 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 blah. And they
You
saw
can't
me
do
walking
that.
up, and they
Right.
turned around and they had this look on their face of fear. there was so much fear
They
in
should
their
have
face.
fear. You're
See,
not supposed to say
and
it.
I
I
said-
said it as an
Yeah,
illustration.
of course.
Right.
To the
But
fact.
That
but-
doesn't take the power away
But
from it.
I looked at them and I realized what they were doing, and I said, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that today.
No. But
I'm
when
not worried
when I
about
said
that.
When we
it,
take
when
the
I
power
said
out
it,
of the word,
Yeah.
it strikes fear into
Yeah,
those
I'm
people
not.
still.
I know what they were doing. I heard the music that was
And-
playing in their car.
right. It
Everything
is.
else. I'm like, and they were looking at me and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Don't worry about that. I'm going into work. I know what's going on. So y'all just continue to talk
That
the
was
way.
my point.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
And
if everyone could
desensitized
be
by
that cool
rap
about
music.
it.
They're desensitized, and that's bullshit.
Mhm.
But to
These
say that it's
kids
just
should
for
not
us
be
is just the same as
desensitized.
But
that's
this
for
was
white
supposed
people
to,
before.
but we are.
Exactly.
Oh, but
You
we're getting
can't-
off topic here because this is
Oh,
supposed to be a
we-
Women's
you know,
Day.
listen,
every-
We could have been talking about this
listen.
in February.
Women's Day is here, but now listen, Women's Day is gone. We've appreciated women.
Mhm.
We appreciate women in our lives,
Mhm.
everything else. Shout out to women, but we're going into another topic. But I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break first.
Oh,
Because it's time for a break. It's been past time for a break. You know, the nice thing about this round table is that we appreciate each other's company so much we forget about time.
Okay. Well, if we forget about time, I have to let you know this. We only have a few minutes left of this show. We
Oh
did
my
not take a
gosh,
break.
We did forget about time.
We,
There you go.
And we didn't get. Listen,
We did
I did
not
all
take a
this
break.
research on all these topics,
but
and
I
we
just,
didn't get to them. But that's okay because you know what? We had a good show.
so I would like to throw this out here.
Oh, sure, anything.
And I would like to throw this out here. We only have a few minutes left in this show. So let's do this show with a Women's Day episode right. We have just a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to lead. Here's the thing. Dear women, I know that you're going through a lot of stuff right now. I know that because of the Me Too movement and everything else, you're trying to figure a way out in the world. So I want to tell you a couple of things. You are 51% of the workforce in the United States. You are now 51% of the workforce. So anything that you need, you should demand it from your workforce. So just go ahead and get it and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to end with that by letting Randy do his thing.
Oh no, I think you ended it rather well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it was just so much fun to talk to you guys. It always is.
Mhm.
And you know what? This is what the show's about. Us having fun, having conversation. Sometimes it's controversial. Sometimes it's silly. And that's why we're here. So we just want y'all to listen and enjoy yourselves and tell your friends and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to respond and give us some notification that you're
Love
there.
it, hate it,
You know?
Pinky.
love it, hate it, let us know, you know, like, be a part of the discussion. Be a third leg. Be our tripod. I want to say to mostly men out there, as a gay man, and like, I am very, very adamant about my gentlemanly nature. And like, treat any woman in your life with the utmost respect. She deserves it. I don't care if she's your mom, your sister, your girlfriend, your friend. You hold the door for them. I can't, even as a gay guy, like, I cannot stress that enough. It makes a man to be a gentleman.
To appreciate a woman and
To
respect
appreciate
women.
in any aspect of their life.
And respect women because they give us life. Really.
It wouldn't
give
happen
us
without-
life.
Lord knows we keep trying, but it won't. It doesn't happen without them.
And to all you ladies out there, to all you women out there, and I really want to stress this so hard, it's ridiculous. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for you to change men's minds. It really is going to take time. And you're doing the work, and thank God you are doing the work. Now you're actually doing the things that I wish you had done 10, 15 years ago. You are taking the time to now say that I don't want to be treated as a special
Second-class
person,
citizen.
a second-class citizen,
special
or
person.
special for
Don't
whatever
put me on a
reason.
fucking pedestal because guess what? I don't want to be on your goddamn pedestal.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I
They don't
want
need it. They're
to
just
be
as capable.
just another human being who drinks beer, who
Love queers.
Love queers, who
Got a song- making
is
for a
thinking
song
about their career and what they want their life to be, who is doing all the things that women have not been told that they can. As men, from birth, when you are born a man, you literally have the world at your feet. When you're born a woman, you are told that, oh, you only have limited options as a woman.
Yeah.
Now we want women to be at the point of, now you have the world at your oyster. Do whatever you want to do.
The world is your oyster stew,
And
girl.
do that. And do
There's a
that.
clam joke in there
Mhm.
somewhere.
I hope not. Those poor clams, they suffer so. Why would you say happy as a clam? How the
No,
hell
the
are you
world is
happy?
their oyster.
But how are you happy as a clam? You get eaten, burrowed. No.
But when you could be
clam
that,
happiness.
but when you could be that one clam that climbs up that rock,
I'm not talking about
that climbs up that rock to get a little bit of sun, and yes, clams do. And by the way, in nature, clams
Their
do.
tongue.
They
When you
swim.
climb up a rock,
But they
survive
swim.
all the seagulls and everything else that are flying around. When you can climb up that rock and get a little bit of sun for yourself,
Then you happy?
you are the happiest being on the planet, and you can jump back in the ocean and you'll do be just
I knew
fine.
scallops swam very fast, but I
Mhm.
knew clams
Yeah.
clammed.
So there you go.
Climbed.
So that, by the way, that is the end of the episode.
Well, bless our hearts.
That is the
and
end of the
listen,
episode.
We love y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Please holler back.
We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be good. Be good at it.
Mm-mm. Have fun and listen to Randy's in the studio outro theme song because we are done. Bitches are done.
Take a fortnight, y'all.
Hope you liked your day.
That was a fun episode.
Mhm.
Now, why in the hell are you mad at me?
How you been
I don't
listening,
have to
ho?
be here. I just sleep.
Hope you
Let me
liked
know.
your
You're mad at me last night. What did I do?
Motherfuckers be sweet
Fine, you
and
fix it.
join us next week for Joe and Randy's Texas
I want an opportunity.
Tea.
I just want to go
Get
theme song.
your asses together.
The theme song is fun.
But you were talking over it. I hope it
Oh
doesn't show
shit!
up.
I didn't know it was recorded. I thought it was.